Oh, what a beautiful morning. Oh, what a beautiful day. I got this wonderful feeling. Everything's going my way. Well, we just got this condo. And why did we get this condo? Check this out. Oh man, it's right by the river. Look at this. Oh, there's some geese down there. And usually there's mallards swimming around. There's a couple over there. Right down in there. Oh, this is going to be cool. And, you know, it just ended up closing the other day. And the first thing we needed to do, what was the first thing, the very first thing to do when you get a new place? Yes, get it rekeyed. Get the front door rekeyed, and we've got a door that goes into a tiny little garage. Look how small this is, but we can fit the car in here. Can you believe how small this is? And here's the door that goes into the garage, and it had a key on both of those and the front door. So the first thing we did, picked up the keys, and I took these off and I took them over to a locksmith. And it was a little bit cheaper for me to do that than to call someone and have them come out. Okay, now here's the thing. If you need to get your things rekeyed at your house or something, if you're handy and you don't mind going down someplace, you're going to save probably $75 to $100 if you take off the locks and take them to a locksmith shop. Now, granted, when you get to the locksmith shop, sometimes they can do it while you wait. Other times they say, well, hey, we can't do it today. We're going to have to work on it. We'll call you, or you stop by in the morning. We very well can't do that for a front door, can you? So you may have to call the locksmith first. Ask them at a shop, hey, can I bring some locks in? Can I come down and wait while you rekey them? And I've got three locks to get rekeyed. And they'll tell you. And if that's not something you want to do, you want them to come out, okay, fine. They can come out, and it's going to cost you an extra $100 probably. This was a little bit over $50 to get this rekeyed. I had three of them, 3 rekeys. And then I had to get some different keys for them, and I got some mailbox keys, and so that's why it was about $50. And the funny thing was, I wanted everything keyed the same. They couldn't do it. I'm like, what? You know why? Because these two, this deadbolt and this paddle handle lock, are Schlage. This one is quick set. Now, you cannot, the keyway, which is the little slide on the side and everything, is not the same for both of these. This one is different because Schlage does not own Quickset. If Schlage bought Quickset out, then they would probably have them all keyed the same, the keyways. Okay, but they don't do it. It's like buying a Volkswagen and a Chevy. They're not going to give you interchangeable parts. And so I had to get separate keys for that, separate keys for this, and that was okay, because eventually we're going to change all the interior locks and all the doorknobs. See how they're a nice bright brass, and the hinges are brass colored. But Momi, she wants all the handles and stuff to be nickel. She wants nickel handles, nickel finished hinges and all that kind of stuff. And nickel is kind of like a chrome color. Let's get this on. It's kind of like this color here. Okay, that's polished chrome. Okay, but it's slightly different than these handles. A nickel color has just a little bit of color. And so when I do that, I'm gonna get nickel on here, and and I'm gonna go to my favorite hardware store. What do you suppose that is? Ha, the Home Depot. Homer's gonna help me. And see, this paddle handle is a schleg, and this front door was a schleg, okay? And so when I get the new stuff on the inside, I'm gonna change this out to the nickel color or satin brushed chrome. Home Depot might not have nickel, they might have brushed chrome, and that's going to be close enough. And then I'll get a deadbolt that matches that color for the garage door, and it's not going to be quick set. I'm going to get a schleg. Then I can take it to the locksmith and get them to rekey it so that one key will fit everything in the house. Okay. Now the funny thing, I knew this was not a schleg. It's a little bit chintzier. It's quick set, and usually to tell that, you can go and you can look on the deadbolt or something, and you'll see the name. But on this particular deadbolt up for the quick set, it's not there. See, usually you'll see the name of whatever it is. This one says schleg, and the front door was schleg, and that's because it said it right there. Look at that. Sometimes they don't have it there. Sometimes it's on the side. Let's take a look at the deadbolt. I don't know if it, oh yeah, it does, see? It says schleg right there, see? And that's generally how you can tell. That's schleg too. That's generally how you can tell what your handles are. But in either case, we're gonna change all this stuff out. And so I'll get a different one. And so for the time being, while I'm over here, I'm going to be doing all kinds of stuff over here. And of course, I'll be making videos of all kinds of stuff. But for the time being, we just wanted it secure to make sure that the previous owner or he loaned some keys out to somebody else. We don't want anybody coming in. So for the time being, we've changed all the locks. That's the first thing you want to do. And it's not very hard to do that. You know, I've got videos on how to do that on my YouTube channel, and it's really easy to figure out. You know, to take the lock out and take it to a locksmith and all that kind of stuff. Okay? And so I saved about $100. Now, when I was over there, you know, I thought I'd be able to just walk in and the guy would help me. Well, they had some other customers there, and a couple guys weren't there. They were on service calls and stuff. So I had to wait. It took me about an hour, and if somebody would have helped me right when I first got there, it'd take me about a half hour. You know? So what's your time worth? Is your time worth $100 an hour? That's how much I saved without having them to come out here on the job. Okay? So there's a tip for you when you've got to change and get your locks rekeyed. Now, speaking of getting everything rekeyed, this front door, I'm not going to be changing that out. Now, that handle is a bright brass, it's called. Okay, polished brass, whatever. And see, the handle on the outside, on the inside of the door is brass. This one's brass, and they've got the brass hinges. And I don't think I'm going to be able to change those. Why? Because we're in a condo complex. Okay, and this is on the exterior door, and all of the doors look basically the same as this, with the same hardware, the same color, and all that kind of stuff. So I don't think we're going to be able to change the front door. Mommy wanted that changed. And I said, no, the HOA, you have to check with your HOA. So if you're in a condo complex and you own the condo even, you can't be changing things in the outside. Now she wants a storm door, glass storm door, screen door that's lockable and stuff. And I said, check with the HOA first. Because they're going to want to make sure that you get it from the same place that all the other ones have it. Whoever has the doors, they don't want different colored storm doors and all that. They want everything to match on the outside of the house. So unfortunately, I'm going to have to talk to her, and I'm going to have to say, hey, this one can't be changed. Do you still want all your interior stuff changed? And she's probably going to want it changed because she always likes the nickel. And she likes the nickel finish. Even if these handles were brand new, she'd want it changed, but they're not. See how this one wiggles? Now, granted, this one's not tight, but this is loose. And let's look at an existing door that goes into a little storage area here. Okay, see how it's like that? I can tell. you know, even though this looks nice and finished, I'm gonna guess that this handle's probably 4 or 5 years old because it's already been worn. See how much that is? And see, look at this front door passage handle. Look at this. See that? Now that's attached to this. Now I know I can get this at the hardware store, this exact same one. But again, it might be the responsibility of the HOA because it's on the exterior of the door and stuff. I'm gonna have to talk to them first, or have Mommy talk to them first and see if they'll change out this handle. They probably won't. They'll just say, oh yeah, it's just wear and tear. But if it's not broke, we're not gonna fix it. Or they may say, you know, anything attached to your door is your responsibility to fix, but you have to go like for like. So I'll have to check with that. But if I have to change that, I will. You know, it still works. But if this breaks off or something, or if Mommy wants this fixed, you know, I'll have to change that. Now I don't know. You know what? Because this is passage and stuff, this part right here, you know, is probably interchangeable with these. I could probably take this off if it's the right swing, if the handle is the right swing. Now see, this paddle goes to the right, that one goes to the left, right? And I'm gonna have to look and see if we got a passage one like this that goes that way without the screws, without the attached screws. And if not, the paddles might be interchangeable. I might be able to flip them around. We'll have to see on that. Okay, sometimes you can take just this part out, but the thing is, even if I could do that, the inside part is the part that's really loose. See that? And so I'll have to look around. Maybe we can find one that's straight off to the left with no screws in it. And see, I can't do the bathroom because this is a privacy. It's got the push button on there. See, so I'll have to go up. I'll have to go upstairs. Well, I wasn't gonna make this part of the video, but hey, I'm kind of curious now. I might be able to fix that. I might be able to fix that with another handle. Nope, not that one. Good grief, do we have one? Nope, not the bathroom. Here, because it's got the little button, because that's a privacy handle. So if you ever lock yourself out, you can just press on there. And because this one here, let's just see. See, it just pops straight out, right? So if that's locked from the outside, all you have to do is take a little thing and push in there, and it pops out on the other side. Okay? And I don't know if there's one single one in this place. You know, yeah, see this one's not either because there's the screws. There's one other bedroom up here. And this is right, but it's got the privacy handle. Let's look, here's a straight one, but it goes to the right. That's not gonna work. Here's another bathroom, that's not gonna work. Here's the right way, but that's not gonna work. We got one more to check, and look at this. Look at this. The last door in the house. This just might work on the front door. I don't know if it will or not. But I may check it out. And if it fits on there, I might put that on. See, because this is Schleg. And it should be interchangeable from there over. I'll have to check that out later. That's the only one in the house, and it could fix that little sloppy handle. And if it does, we won't have to do anything to that one, because all of these handles in here, if she wants it, they're going to be changed to nickel. And it's almost like this color here. Nickel is kind of brushed chrome almost, but see, it's got a tinge of a different color on it. Can you see? And And so that's why she wants to go with the nickel, and I'm sure she'll say, no, that's what I want. And so maybe I can change it. And in fact, you know what? I missed that, didn't I? There's screws on this one. So I'm gonna have to find a paddle with the screws. And I think there was one on here. You see there? There's one right there. The paddle's to the left. The paddle's to the left. And the screws are on there. See? I could probably use that one, replace this one because it's so floppy. And that goes for, you know, even if you have one like that, it might behoove you to do that, to find one. And then even if you were going to keep this color, let's say, okay, then you can go down to the store and buy another one exactly like this to replace this one, and that would be way cheaper than buying a whole setup like this. You know what I mean? This one's probably, oh, I don't know, $80 or close to $100, something like that. And this one here is probably $35. So there, I just gave you a tip. Try that if you need something like that, okay? So enough of that, of the different things. I've got to get busy and put these locks back in, and then I'm gonna start doing. I'm gonna walk around here. We're gonna be painting this whole thing. I still have to go over with Mommy on the colors and all that kind of stuff, but I know one of the things I'm going to have to do, and I'll show you that. I'll make this a different video. Is all of the doors are going to be painted, all the door frames are going to be painted, all the baseboards are going to be painted, and the walls, the ceilings, all that kind of stuff. So I know even before I get the paint that I can stay over here and I can do some work, can I? I can check all these doors, and that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to do that on a different video, but I'm going to open and close them, make sure that none of the doors are sagging, or check different things out, different things that I have to do before I take these doors down. Because see, once I check all the doors and make sure they're opening and closing properly and there's enough clearances and nothing's rubbing on anything, then I can take all the doors out. I can take the hinges out, I can take the doorknobs out, and then I can stack all these doors inside the garage, because eventually like I say, all those doors are going to be painted. So then I can take those out. I can sand them, I can do all that kind of stuff, and I can get them out of here. And then they'll be out of my way for when I get ready to start painting. Okay, now granted, this front door, I'm not going to be able to do that for the front door. I'm not going to take the front door off, and I'm only going to be painting this door, you know, from this edge over. And see, that last time whoever painted this, they painted the interior side. They didn't paint the side, did they? Or with the same color as the outside. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to do it right. And so I'll have to paint this one in place and all that. And I'll go over that, like I said, in a minute. Just keep watching my videos. And if you want to see the transformation, what I'm going to be doing over here, you know, well, I'm going to get somebody over here to restretch the carpets and fix the puckering. See along here, it's all kind of raised up. That's because this carpet is probably, oh, who knows, 4 or 5 years old, 6 years or more. And I don't even know if we're going to save it yet. I've got to talk to Mommy about it and all that kind of stuff, because obviously if we're going to save it before I paint, I'm going to have to put masking tape down, be real careful on down to the carpet and try to get it kind of painted with the paintbrush down as the carpet curves, you know what I mean? Gonna have to do that. Man, this is gonna take a while to do all that. And anyways, enough of that for right now. I've got to put these locks back in. Well, that's all I got for this time. But I'll be back with more videos. I thought I was done with this video, silly Joe. Hey, I got back from the locksmith. As you can see, I put the locks back on, and I put the deadbolt on this front door. Everything's working fine. And what I wanted to really show you was this handle. Remember before how it was really floppy? Look at that. And remember I told you, hey, maybe these are interchangeable. See this? This was the front door handle. And I looked on the back side after I pulled it off. There's a spring on there, and the parts, the little brackets, the nibs are kind of worn a little bit because this door handle is used so much on this front door. And see, there's the other thing. I got it to work, and son of a gun, this little closet just happens to be, you know, a little storage closet. It's got a little cat door in here. Isn't that cute? You can put the cat in here, and the poop box and all that kind of stuff. That's kind of a good idea. Do something like that. Well, because it's inside a closet and not out, you know, somewhere else, nobody uses this back handle, do they? Because you're only going to be using this on the front all the time. And look how big the gap is there. This is barely notched in there. If I pull hard enough, see, it just comes out. So that's another something I'm going to have to fix. See how big the gap is? My word. Look at that. It should never be that big. And I'm going to have to put some shims, you know, undo this and put some screws on the backside, use them as shims and screw them in and out. And then I can draw this just slightly over a little bit. I can do that on all the hinges. I'm not going to do that now because remember I'm going to be painting these doors and I'm probably going to be changing all the hinges and all that kind of stuff anyways to different ones. So when I look at this door, I'm going to know that, okay, it's going to be okay, and I'm going to be able to fix everything with the brand new hinges after the door's been painted and all that kind of stuff. Look at that. That's no good. And so this was able to fit. And see, if you weren't going to change the color of your knobs on the inside, the handles, the lever paddle handles on the inside of your house, you find something on the inside of a closet or something, and maybe you can swap out something else that's bad. It doesn't have to necessarily be your front door. It could be something else. But because it's the front door, I know that's nice and secure. And I don't have to worry about it breaking or anything or snapping off. And so I know I don't have to buy a whole new handle assembly, you know, like that. Okay, I just saved some money. Made it look better. Now when I replace all these, I'm gonna end up saving all these handles. I'll probably put them up in storage somewhere. And worst case scenario, if this gets bad again or if it ever breaks off, I'm gonna have to be careful. I'm gonna have to remember, hey, I've got to save some parts before I give them all away, before I throw them all away, before I think they're bad or anything like that. Okay? And remember I was saying these handles might be interchangeable, and they might be. Some paddle handles are, some aren't. And depending how old your handles are, you might have to have bought them years ago, a left-hand door, right-hand door, stuff like that, and maybe this handle could only go here and it couldn't go anywhere else. But nowadays, when you get a paddle handle, you can flip-flop these around. That way you always have the screws on the inside. Even if your handle, when you buy it, it's going to be set up for either a right-hand swing door or a left-hand swing door. And so the very opposite doors, whatever ones they don't fit on, know that you can change. You should be able to change the paddle handles. That's for Schlage. And I always like to get Schlage, and Home Depot always has Schlage, and they seem to wear really good, and they look nice too. I like it how it folds up and bows down like that. Now you can install these a different way, the very opposite, where the handle goes up. And if you've got a handicapped person inside the house or an older person who can't use their wrist a lot, or they have a weak grip or something, if you have this flipped up the other way, then all they have to do is sit over here and pull down. Instead of their hand sliding off, they're going to grab this because it's flipped up the other way, and all they have to do is just barely grab it to pull it down. Okay, so there's a tip for you. But I generally when I put a paddle handle on, this is the direction I like it to go, right there. but you can flip them around the other way. Okay? Well, there you go. I saved some money, and hopefully you learned something. I'll see you next time.